Now, looks like the 2G spectrum case will continue to be on Dr. Subramanian Swamy's mind till some concrete results come out of it. The Janata Party president now wants his case on the issue to be heard separately so that the process can be faster. Speaking to NDTV Hindu, Dr. Swamy expressed confidence about former Telecom Minister A. Raja and the other accused being booked soon enough. Also speaking about the assembly polls held in the state just last week, he said it was difficult to comprehend the effect of the high voter turnout at this stage.
So your case is coming up in August in the Supreme Court regarding the electronic voting machine, regarding the receipt. So what do you think will be the outcome of that hearing?
Well, I've already got an indication in the last hearing that the Election Commission has in principle decided to introduce voter receipt. They have to, because I had pointed out to the court earlier that there is an Information Technology Act which requires any electronic voting machine receiving an input from any citizen of India to give him a receipt. That's why ATMs have to give you receipt. And therefore, I think on 26th of August will be a final hearing. And they have set up some expert committee, and that committee report would be there. And after that, I will, 26th, probably get a court order.
So do you think that will actually help in curbing the malpractices that goes around during election time?
It will become very much more difficult, because the kind of coordination that would be necessary for the voter slip and the bogus voting to be in synchronization will be very, very tough. So I think the probability of fraud will be very small.
And so how happy are you with the process of the 2G case, the pace at which the 2G case is going?
I am very happy with the way it is going and the amount of material that's already come on record. I was of the view that we should go in small doses, take 2-3 politicians in the beginning. I wanted Raja, Kannimozhi and Karunanidhi, and then later on more people added on. But the CBI has brought in Raja alone and brought all these industrialists who have hired the best lawyers in the country, and they are all, from their behavior, seem to be, very anxious to see that every little document is provided to them in the form they want. Now, that's fair enough on their part because of their clients' interest. But I think it is going to delay matters. So therefore, I personally feel that my case, if it is heard separately, I will be able to get Raja prosecuted by October, November, because I have no other accused. And then I can add others.
What do you assess of the high voter turnout in the assembly polls recently?
Yes, there's a lot of interest in this election, but both sides have mobilized. The 2G has made people mobilize, ADMK has mobilized a lot of people. But more surprisingly, the DMK has also used these local NGOs to mobilize people. So it's very difficult to say what the turnout will be, what the effect of the turnout will be on the result.
In other news making headlines, the Madras High Court today ordered a CBI probe into the alleged cheating by Pazi Financial Services Company based in Tirupur. Over 48,000 investors were alleged to be caught in this scandal and cheated to the tune of 1,600 crore rupees. A number of victims had approached the Madras High Court in 2009 seeking justice. The Association of Victims and Individual Depositors then wanted the High Court to order a CBI inquiry into the alleged cheating. But it was today, finally, that the court came out with the announcement.
During this process, and company owners applied for anticipatory bail before this honorable court, and that was rejected by this honorable court. And after that also they were not arrested by the economic offence wing police and also by the CBCID, where there is another case pending against them. Today, when the matter came up before this honorable court, the honorable court was pleased to transfer the investigation to CBI to investigate the same and to bring justice.
In some crime news from the city, a 25-year-old man has murdered his young wife at their Keelkatale residence after an argument turned rather violent. The man strangled the lady and then surrendered to the Thorepakam police. The couple had separated earlier because of an extramarital affair. Moving on, in the year gone by, Justice Govindarajan had come out with a recommendation for the fees to be collected by all the schools in Tamil Nadu. The Madras High Court, including the Supreme Court, said that though the committee recommendations are being reworked in the interim, the schools should follow the original guidelines laid down by the committee. However, most of the schools here in Tamil Nadu are blatantly violating this rule. One parent in Chennai decided that he can no longer stand this injustice and decided to take a school head on. He, however, ended up paying a huge price for it. Take a look.
Husnara, Asrar and Zainab have put away their school books, not because it's summer holidays, but because they have been expelled from a leading CBSE school in the city. Their crime? Their father has locked horns with their school for not complying with the fees prescribed by the Justice Govindarajan committee.
A poor auto driver demands 10 rupees over and above the meter. We argue, we haggle, we lose sleep, we file complaints. But when the same thing is done by an educational institution, they say we want 335% more than what has been fixed by the committee. We have no issues. Commercialization of education is happening.
The school management says it is very difficult to run an efficient institution by charging what the school fee committee has recommended. Of course, it also says that it will abide by the recommendations of the revised school fee structure being prepared by the Ravi Raj Pandian committee. An argument most schools across the state have up their sleeve. Interestingly, both the Madras High Court and the Supreme Court have passed clear orders on this issue.
Schools that have collected fees in addition to that prescribed by the committee should consider the excess amount as deficit till the committee releases the revised fee structure.
This is a violation of the constitutional right as well as the statutory right. It amounts to denial of education to the children, and we are proposing to file a writ petition before the High Court of Madras challenging the action of the school.
The TC, which was handed over to the three children, says that they were expelled because their father indulged in activities prejudicial to the school management. Activists say that this act has violated the RTE Act and will prove detrimental to those students.
There's no action that need to be taken against the child at all, and if they have any grievance against the parent, they can go for a criminal complaint or a civil complaint and claim damages also. They have just violated the provision of the Right to Education Act and sent the children out abruptly.
Come what may, I will continue this fight till I get justice to my children and till all other children in Tamil Nadu also get the same justice.
Over the past 1 year, there have been several instances of parents protesting against schools for charging exorbitant fees for their children. With the school fee committee yet to come up with a final fee structure, the question is, will it bring an end to the tussle between parents and schools? In Chennai, this is Krishnamurthy for NDTV Hindu.
Up ahead on the bulletin, the farmers of the state had found themselves in a coal puddle under the summer sun over